All right, that's correct. We are back. How you guys doing? Guys and gals, thank you for joining me again on another Friday session of the Kanban board. We're moving along. We're making progress. We are not running the vdev server, if I'm not mistaken, and I need that here. npm run dev. And if you recall, and if you have been following along, last week we have a bit of a problem. We're in the process of updating a task to assign or remove it from a project. And we already have the UI. We used a dropdown on the edit task form, but it wasn't working. So it is working now. I'm going to walk you through what I did and a couple of other things that I did off camera. Nothing too crazy, just a few tricks that took me a while to figure out. And I finally got it working, and I'll let you know what it is in just a second. Let me log in here. All right, cool. Let me reset the database just in case there's anything wonky here. So PHP, come on, PHP artisan migrate fresh seed. And now we have a clear and fresh database. It probably logged me out. Yep, it did. All right. Let's see. So as I said before, last week we ended up in having this drop down here, which allows us to change the project of a task to either remove it from a project or assign it to a project. Problem is that it wasn't working. We set a project or remove it in this case, and the operation didn't work and it didn't update the task. The problem was this. If we go back to the code and we go to edit task, actually we need to go to edit to task form. That's where the operation takes place in the update method here. So what I was doing is I was using associate and disassociate. The thing that I missed from the documentation is that this function only sets the value for the foreign ID. If you use disassociate, it sets the value of the foreign ID, the foreign key to null. In this case, it's project ID. If you use associate, it will set the foreign ID value to this one here, the project find, and we use project ID, which is coming in from the event. So basically we have a project ID, we find that project, we associate it to the project. But the one thing that I missed is that doesn't save the model. That only sets the value for the foreign key, but it doesn't update the value in the database. You have to call save after. So I wasn't doing that, therefore I was never updating the record. Once I call save, it works perfectly fine. But I decided to change a few things, because right up here I was doing a task update, setting the description value directly in an update. But since I'm going to call save at the end, I just decided to set the value of the task description here using the value from the form, then checking if we have a project ID. If we do, we associate that task using the project relationship. We associate that task to that project. If we don't have one, and this, by the way, comes from the drop-down menu. This is wired to the drop-down menu. If we don't have a value there, we just disassociate this task from this project, and then at the end, I call save. So if we do that, let's say task 1, we don't want that to have a project, we click save, and if we click here, now the task does not belong to the project. Now, notice that as soon as I did that, As soon as I remove it from the project, the batch updated. Let's go back to all tasks. Now take a look at the number here. It's 6. Project A has 6 tasks. As soon as I assign one more and save, it goes up to 7. Same thing with tasks. Now this we didn't before. I'm gonna walk you through how this worked. If I add a new task, let's say 4, the number of total tasks goes up by 1. So how did I get that to work? In the in both operations, the edit task and the create task, both of those operations dispatch an event, which is task updated and task created. So the first thing that I do in the sidebar, the first thing that I did in the sidebar component was to, I used to have a project's public property that I was initializing on mount, but since I need that to update every time the component reloads, I decided to move that to a computed property instead by just grabbing this all the list of projects from the user. And now that I'm looking at this, I'm probably gonna want to bring in, I'll try to bring in the task count on the projects as well. We'll try that in a minute. But yeah, I moved the projects property to a computed property instead of a public property. The task count, that was already a computed property. And then this is the part that this is how I got it to work. I'm still a little iffy about whether or not this is the right way to do it, but since I have to listen for 2 different events that are not in a component directly below the sidebar, which means that the events that are being dispatched are not from children of the sidebar component. There are global events in any component anywhere on the page. What I did was, in the sidebar template, no, on the dashboard, sorry. Was it on the dashboard? No, it wasn't on the dashboard. So this is what got me confused. So I initially tried to do it on the dashboard. Here I tried, for example, a @ on equals task created, for example. Oh, sorry, on, this is add-on task created. Not on, sorry. Like that. That's the that's the Livewire way. And I initially thought, well, I can just do a refresh, right? Just like documentation says. Problem is that this only works when the event is being dispatched or emitted on a children or a component nested inside the sidebar component. At least that's how I understand it. So this never gets called. It never worked. So my other solution, and the one that worked, is, okay, let's not do it here. Let's not touch this and go inside the sidebar component. And I created this dummy method, which doesn't do anything, but it is listening to 2 different events: task updated, task created. So when you do it like this, it's going to listen for those events no matter if they are from the children. It just listens for those events regardless of who emitted those events. So they're global events and I'm listening to those. Now the method itself doesn't do anything, but it's technically being called when those events are fired. And when that happens, that forces the reload of the component that is listening for those events, because it's technically has to execute the function on the server side, which forces Livewire to do a round trip to the server and back. and create a new snapshot for the contents of this component. And that will force these two computed properties to also refresh. So I will have a new list of projects from the user, and in the sidebar template, if you remember, for every project, the badge is wired to project tasks count. I'm going to try to change this today because I really don't like to call count on tasks, because this tasks property forces a new query, and I really don't like that. It's fine now because it's only 1, 2, or 3 projects, but when it's more than that, that can get messy real quick. So I'm going to try, now that it's a computed property, I'm going to try and bring in the count. So in the user's project relationship, I'm going to try and bring back the with count tasks, see if that works. But doing that and having this in that way, so listening for those two events, whenever they happen, the sidebar component reloads, and therefore the badges update in real time whenever you create any task and whenever you update any task. So that's it. I hope that makes sense. If it didn't make sense, let me know in the comments. I can probably give a better explanation, or if there is something that is not clear, let me know and I will do my best to help. But with that out of the way, I think we can move on to the 2 goals of today. Hopefully we can get to both. I want to be able to create new tasks. I want to be able to create new projects. And also, I would like the ability to delete a task. So I thought maybe in this dialog for editing a task, I can probably add one button here, red color, that says delete, and that will delete the task. That is one thing. And the other, I would like to have a button right below this this drop down here, have a button for creating a new project. And I will probably use the same design from this model. So I'm going to use a model or a dialog for creating the project, just like the one here for editing a task. So where do we begin? Deleting a task or creating a project? I think let's start with deleting a task. We already have the form component. We just need to add a new method to it and add a button here. All right, let's start with adding that button. So this is in a component. Close a few things here. Got a lot of tabs opened. Come on, how many do I have? This is the last one. Okay, so let's look for the Livewire component that, so edit task, is that the one? Description, this is the select, yeah, here it is. So, so this div has flex justify start. I need another button, but that button will go to the end. So maybe we just need to wrap this. Let's try wrapping this on another div. And this div will be flex, item center, justify between. And the two elements in here will be the div that has the first two buttons and then another div with another button. That is, since it's justified between, then it's going to go right at the end. So I guess I can just use primary, secondary. Do we have a danger button here? From Breeze. Why is the vendor open? Components. Yeah, danger button. Let's try that. So right below this div, we can have an X danger button. And let's add, it's going to say delete. Let's see how that looks. Kinda. It's way too flat against the, needs a little more padding on the top. It's not aligned with this too, so it's probably because of this gap to padding top too. Can I add the class here? Padding top 2. No. All right, so let's just wrap this in another div. All right, that looks better. Okay, so that takes care of the button. Now the action for this button. Right now, we have a primary button, but where's the action? Is it on the form? Yes. Do I need to take it out of the form? No, probably just add a click event. Let's try that. Let's make this type button so that it doesn't submit the form. And let's use wire click. This is going to call a method called, is it destroy or delete? Let's try destroy. Ooh, what did I do? I think that's the naming convention for resourceful controllers, isn't it? Can always go and check. Check the documentation real quick. When I'm not sure, when in doubt, check the docs. Let's say search controllers. resource controllers, naming resource routes. There is a table here. Destroy. Okay. So when I click this, it's going to call the destroy method. Now we need to have that method in the edit task component. So let's create it here. For now, let's just make sure that it is calling the method. So delete task. All right. Let's see if that works. Go back to the UI, click on task 1, click on delete. It's submitting the form. No. Can I do prevent here? Yeah, that worked. So with .prevent, I think the button click was just following the default behavior of the form, which is wire submit. But if you add .prevent, it stops following the default behavior and just use the method that you are providing for the event. So that works. And just to make sure, let's go to the edit task. Let's remove this from here. Let's go to the update method. Just add a DD here. This should not be called. Just make sure that when you press that button, this method doesn't get called. Just to be safe. Good. All right, now we need a new method in the form. So let's remove this here. And destroy is going to, first of all, we need to do this. What is doing in, okay, so the update, this form update. On edit task, we already have the task set, so we just need to call form destroy. You know what? We should have a confirmation. How do we add a confirmation to that? Actions. Is there something related to confirm? Wire curve. Yeah. Wire confirm. Okay. I knew there was something like this. Okay, so let's just use this. Are you sure you want to delete this task? Put it here. Let's give it a try. Are you sure? This is good enough for now. I mean, we could try and create another dialog with better looking graphics, etc., but this is fine. You get a confirmation from JavaScript from the browser. Are you sure do you want to delete this task? And if you click OK, it goes on to execute the method. If you click cancel, then it will, whoa, call to undefined method. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We don't have a method yet. Let's go add it. So now that we call destroy, the other thing that I want to do here is dispatch another event, because we are going to need to refresh the sidebar when this happens. So this dispatch task deleted. Now, bear in mind, I don't care which task was deleted in this case. I just need the sidebar to refresh completely and update the counts of all of the tasks and each specific project tasks count. So I don't really care which record was deleted, but if I would care, I just need to pass the task ID, the payload, as a second parameter. But in this case, I don't really care. So we need a new method in the form. So let's open task form, and right down here we need a new method called destroy. This will be extremely simple. We just need to call this task delete, and we're done. We should be done. Now, before we test this, I'm going to go into the sidebar component and I'm going to add the task deleted event to the list of events that we are listening to trigger a refresh. So let's go back to sidebar. Down in the dummy refresh method here, let's add one more to this list. Task deleted. Sorry. All right, that should work. Now let's see. Let's delete this 4. First, let's make sure that we didn't break anything. Let's assign this to one project, project A. So that would put project A in 7 with 7 tasks, and that works. Now let's delete this task. Yes, I'm sure. Oh, it didn't close. Okay. It didn't close the form, it didn't close the dialog. That's easy to fix, but look. Oh, it didn't update the groups either. Okay. 2 things we need to do. Close the dialog, the sidebar is updating, the group is not. We refresh, that is gone, but we need to update that in real time. So let's fix that. Starting with the dialog. We just need to copy this line from here. Yoink and paste. Oh, show dialog set to false actually. Just like we did in the update here. Oh, let's move it right above it. And since we are using a lot of spaces, let's keep that consistent as well. You know what? I kind of like it without so many spaces. I can still read it. Ooh, no, not that one. There. Yeah, that looks better. More compact, more tight. Tight. All right, so that closes the dialog. Now let's go to the group component. Is it the group component or let's check the group component first. I don't remember if the update or the listening for the events is on the group component or the board component. Are we gonna have to, do we need another, like a dummy method here as well? Let's check the board real quick. What is happening here? Oh no, you know what? Sorry. Well, we kind of do. See, the board, if we go to the board template, we have each Kanban group is not listening to any events here. Is it in the task? So let's check the group template. See, it's working here. See how this is add task updated window. This is wire. This is Alpine JS. So this worked here, but only because we are inside an Alpine JS scope. And I know that because we're using XOR in each of the groups. So the group, the group library component is also within an Alpine JS scope. And therefore we can use Alpine JS to listen to global events and use wire refresh. So what happens if we add another? Add task deleted dot window equals also wire refresh. I mean, that technically should work, right? Let's give it a try. Let's create another one. So 4 again, save that. All tasks go to, total tasks go to 8. Let's move it into project A, save. Project A now has 7 tasks. And if I click delete, I'm sure, yay, it worked, it worked, it worked. So now we don't see this, the group updates automatically, the sidebar updates automatically, and we are good to go. We can now delete tasks. Awesome. All right. Now let's, we're making good time. What, how long? That only took us 34 minutes. That was fast. I love it when everything goes as planned. Okay, let's add a button here. T-book codes, nice job, thank you, and thank you for being here. How you doing, man? Thank you for joining me. I don't think I've seen you before, but it's nice to see new faces. That's a nice avatar you have, like cartoony like. Where are you from, huh? Just getting to know you. Where are you from? How's your day going? How do you find the stream? How have you been? How have you been? So let's go and check this component here, just to make sure that we can update. Is this a component? I think it's a component, right? That's a header. And let's close a few things here. And we should have, yeah, Livewire Kanban header. There you go. So right now we just have, this is the title, the project title. Is it? Right? Yeah, this is the drop down. Right, yeah, because this goes below it. Hi, thank you very much. My day was pretty long. I'm sorry to hear that. Mine was too. I mean, it's Friday. What are you gonna do? I am just going to bed. It's 4 a.m. here. Where do you live? So I just dropped by to quickly say hi. So you were streaming. I'm from Czech Republic. Wow. Thank you so much. It's so well, technically it's early now. So yeah, go to bed, man. Just have a rest. Watch this on repeat. You're not gonna miss it. And thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Now go to bed. Go. So this is a flex item center justify between. So technically we're good. So we have the header in a div here. We should just be able to add another div. So this will go all the way to the end. And let's use an X. What was it? Primary. Let's use a primary button here. X primary button. This will say new project. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I should probably make that. So let's view end of the line, not so much. Where are you from? I love your videos, man. Thank you so much. I'm from Costa Rica. Hopefully you have a great day and thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom and helping other devs learn something new. Thank you so much. That I really appreciate that. I am very glad that you don't worry about it. If you can stay for 5 minutes, 5 minutes is enough. Just show up, click the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and go to bed. It's all right. Yeah, I'm from Costa Rica. And so we're very far apart. Right here is only 8 p.m. And I'm sorry that the schedule of the stream doesn't really align with you, but yeah, what are you gonna do? At least you showed up. And you can watch it on repeat. That's no problem. What else? I will have a great day, of course. Thank you so much. If it's not too much of a day left, but it's Friday, so after the stream, I'm just gonna go hop on my PS5 because Astrobot just dropped, and I am going to have a great time playing that. And I will enjoy my Friday doing absolutely nothing, which is the best. As I was saying, I need this to be bold. So I think it's surround tag. Oh no, that wasn't it. Undo that. View. Select that. I think is S. Tag. Span. There you go. Let's give this a class of font bold. Was it? Leaving tight. Text SM, I suppose. See how that looks. Yeah, that looks good. Good enough. Let's see. Nice. So please enjoy your time and have a nice weekend. I will. Thank you so much. Good night and take care. Take care of yourself. You're awesome. Thank you for being here. So now we need to click on this, and that is going to open another dialog, which we will use to create a new project. So I should probably get to work on the dialog first. Let's copy the same dialog template that we have on edit task. So let me close this real quick. So let's go to edit task. It's going to be pretty much like this. It's going to be a dialog, wire model, show dialog. We're going to have a show dialog on our create task, add project. Sorry, we already have an add project component, don't we? I remember that we created that when we were testing, didn't we? Yeah, add project. There is a template. Where's the component? Where is it? Is it up here? Why do I have to add project? There it is. Okay, so we do have the component. We don't have to create. We just have to take the design from add task and put it in the template here. Because if I'm not mistaken, add project, yeah, it's completely empty. We tested it, we know it works, but we didn't do anything with the templates. So let's grab everything from edit task. Command A to select everything, yoink, go back, Command A, paste. So first things we need to modify. So we need a show dialog property to control the visibility of this. So let's go to add project and let's add a public bool show dialog. It's going to be false by default. Why are you complaining? What? Oh. Why are you complaining? Because you don't, did you forget how PHP works? That's what happens when you code on other languages on your spare time. And when your brain doesn't know how to process new information. Okay, never mind. So yeah, show dialog false. There is a method that I would like to have copied from edit task, and that is the reset dialog form. Are we going to need that? Let me think. Yeah, we probably need that. Let's copy that. I know we're going to use it. So basically, when we're creating a new project and there is an error and we close a dialog by clicking outside of it or just clicking cancel, this will ensure that every time you open that dialog, it's going to be cleared, like reset. Yoink. Let's paste that down here. We're going to need a form. We already have a form. So form, reset, and reset error bags. These two methods we don't need to create because these two are part of the form class, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check just in case. Task form. Yeah, those two come in the inside form, this Livewire form class. They have a reset and reset error bag. If you don't remember, reset error bag is just basically it clears all of the errors from the session that regards to this form. So when you do validate, it automatically sets all of the error messages for all of the fields, but sometimes it's wonky when you close the model and you open it back. The error sometimes still it stays there even though you cleared the value of the field, of the text field or the form field. So using reset error bag just make sure that everything is clear and nice every time you look at the form. Okay, what else do we need? Add project. So we have show dialog, and when we need this key up escape, set open to false. Wait, okay, so just a refresher. This X dialog component, it has an Alpine.js, it's basically made in Alpine.js. Inside the X dialog component, there is a property, an Alpine.js property called open. And one of the things that the component does is binding together the whatever you set in wire model. So whatever you define in wire model is going to be automatically welded to this open property. That means that if I change the value of the open property in Alpine.js, it's going to reflect also in show dialog in the Livewire component. And the other way around, if I change the value of show dialog in the in Livewire, that is going to also reflect automatically in the value of open in Alpine.js. So those two are intertwined. That is just part of the dialog component. That is already, I'm giving you that in this project. The code, if you didn't know, it's in the link in the description. So we have a dialog panel, that's fine. We have X effect, which basically means every time this open variable changes value, and therefore every time show dialog changes value, I'm going to call this method, reset dialog form, and the value and passing the value of open. So if open is false, that means that we are closing the dialog. And that's why we have this method here. So if it's open is false, that means that we are closing the dialog. So just clean the error bag and reset the form, clear the form fields, etc. That's how it works. Then we have the form wire submit. We're going to need this update method. Let's go ahead and, well, it's not going to be update, is it? Let me check the form, project form. We do have an update, but that's not what we need. We need another. Did we not create projects in our tests? Are we missing a test? I'm not gonna add the test just yet. I'm gonna cheat a bit because I do want to get this done quickly. I don't know. Feels weird not having a test. Let's add a test. Feature. Where's the project? Project test here. No, we have a test. What the freak? It can create projects, user, project, factory, make, Livewire, add oh, we have an add project Are we there? What the freak? Add project class. Yeah, we have a... Why didn't I see it? Did I not see it? Project form. Was it there and I'm blind? Yeah, it is. Jesus. Wow. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, we have the store project, everything's tested, and this will just say user projects create. So that means that in the add project template, why is this calling wire submit? Oh, well, never mind. So 1 second. Yeah, that's fine. So instead of calling update, I'm going to change that to store. That's all I need to do. So this will call the store method in the add project component, which in turn will call the store method in the project form component. We have an input label. What was the name of the... It wasn't description, wasn't it? Was it name? Let me check. Create projects. Yeah, name. So this will be name, and this will be wired to form name. Placeholder will be project name. Out of focus, form name. So this is for the error message where we are using... Do we have validation? I don't remember. Project form. Oh, we don't have validation. That's not good. We're gonna have to add that. Form name. Project. Erasmo, how you doing, man? Thank you for being here. So nice to see you. How's your Friday? We don't need this select. We just need a name text input. So this goes away, and we should probably... No, we don't need the delete one. We don't need any delete here. So we can probably just delete this line, delete these lines here, and just leave the first div with 2 buttons. Like so. So we have save and cancel. Good. Now here, as you can see, we just set open to false, and that just closes the dialog. Should look good. Now we need to open this. How do we open this? The same way we are opening the edit task. So that is in group. You're at home drinking wine? Nice, 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 nice. I'm glad you're having a great time. More of a beer guy myself, but I appreciate a good wine. So in group, we have this. We have a dispatched event for edit task. And we pass the task. So we're probably going to need this. Let's copy this, and we're going to put that in the header on this button here. The event is going to be add project. We don't need any payload in this case, so we can remove all of this. All right, so we're dispatching an event here called add project. We should, so in the, where do we listen for this event? Is it on the edit task? Yeah, we have a method here. I'm gonna copy it from edit task, put it on add project. Lost it. Yoink. Paste. Instead of listening for, and first of all, let's import this function. Use Livewire attributes on, and the method is going to be add project. Let's call this show add project dialog. We don't need anything as a parameter, therefore we don't need to call this line. We only need to say this dialog, this show dialog equals true. And that should work. Let's give it a try, see what happens. So click on new project, nothing happens. Awesome. Console. Why? Let's see. Going back to, I did save it. So header here. Is it rendering correctly? Just realized this is not zoomed in. Oh, it is. It's this part. So let me see. Are you rendering? Yeah, it is. I can see the click event there. So first of all, is this part working? No. Okay, so this is Alpine. So technically it is. Just trying to call something that is not there. So does that mean I need to do wire dispatch? I mean, is that doing something? Yeah. Dispatch should work. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I haven't even put in the component in the in anywhere in the HTML. Oh, of course. So let's put it, where's the edit task? Is it in, where is it? In the dashboard. Why is it in? Well, yeah, it's fine. Dashboard is fine. So now we need Livewire. Ooh, Livewire. Add project. No errors. Click on new project. Oh, of course. Save, thank you. Again, no errors. Click on your project. There it is. Awesome. Okay, so we have the button. The button opens the dialog, and the dialog should technically create a new project. Will it? We tested it though. Let's try it. Oh, we need validation. Let's add that right away. Oh, what am I doing? Let's copy the validation strategy from edit task. So all I'm doing in the form, task form actually, I'm just doing this. So I'm gonna copy this line, put it in add project form. Right here above the project name. So validate, so the project name is required, and what's this on update false? I forget. Oh, right. It's that, if you don't remember, clearly I didn't. When you do on update false, Livewire is not going to trigger any validations when the component refreshes, which can be weird sometimes, can lead to weird behavior when you are changing values on your component or something updates and suddenly you have a validation error on a form that you haven't submitted yet. So that prevents that. So that should be all, right? Oh, no, we need to, in the store method, we need to do validate. Are we doing it here? We'll check. Task form. Yeah, this validate. That will automatically show any error messages on the form, or it should. Let's try it. New project, try to submit without any information. Okay, the name field is required. That's fine. So if we click outside and then click on new project again, the validation error is gone because we are clearing that when we are closing the dialog. Let's try it with the cancel button. That works as well. And let's try it with the X button. That's fine. Okay, so now let's create a project B. Super important project. Save that. Things are missing. We're not closing the dialog. I'm assuming it created the project, but the sidebar is not reflecting that. So if I refresh, there it is. Project B, that worked. So we need to close the dialog and update the sidebar. Why do I go Command P every single time? I'm not trying to print the page. There you go. How do we... Okay, so closing the dialog should be super simple. We just need to go to add project, and right after calling this form store, we just set this show dialog to false. Oop. That should take care of the dialog. Now, I guess we could just use that dummy refresh method again. That's getting, the list is getting longer, but I guess it's fine. So we can go to the sidebar again and just add one more to the list. So project created. We are not submitting that. We're not emitting that just yet. So let's go back to project, no, add project. And let's emit that from here. This dispatch project created. And technically that should be it. I'm gonna refresh the database because it's getting out of control. Yes, I will log in again. Okay, let's try that again. New project. Project B. Save. Closes and updates. Boom, boom, boom. Awesome. And now we can go to any task. Oh, this is not updating. Oh, bummer, 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 bummer. We need to update this drop down. It will update if I refresh. So if I click on that again, there is project B, but it needs to refresh automatically. Ah, it's another thing. How do we do that? How is this being populated, by the way? Would it be enough to... Let's see. That is technically on the edit task component. So the projects are only being updated on mount. Well, it would be as easy as having a method down here. Let's call it refresh projects. And let's say this projects, and let's copy this, the user projects. Now this, I'm going to add, no, that, not that. Let's add an on method here. So we are listening for project created. So whenever a project is created on the edit task component, we are going to refresh the list of projects. That should be it, hopefully. Save everything. Let's give it a try. So we have project B. Let's add project. Can you guess it? C. So project C, save. Sidebar updates. Let's check the drop down. There it is. switch to project C, save. Project C now has 1 task, project A has 6, and 7 tasks in total. It's looking pretty good. And it only took us, what? 1 hour and 10 minutes. That was a good session, I would say. So I think, what's missing? We should be able to delete projects. How do we want to do that though? First idea that comes to mind would be to have a trash button next to the batch, maybe. Or having, whenever you click on a project and we have a project name here, we have an edit button here, like an edit icon. When you click on that, it opens another dialog where you can change the project name, or just like we did here, delete it. I think that that keeps a consistent UI language. So yeah, I like that. We're gonna have an icon here that you can click, or maybe just a link. Well, maybe both. We'll have a link. We'll have this be a link, and when you hover over it, the icon will show up. That will let you know, okay, if I click on this, I can edit it. And we're gonna do that next week. And we'll see if we have time to add the search, which is going to be very similar to what we're doing here with the sidebar clicking. But instead of using a project ID to search all of the tasks, we are going to use a fuzzy search. Maybe we can use, what is it called? Full text search. We'll see if that's I think we can use full text search if we wanted to. That'll be nice. So that we don't have, so that when we search for something, we can just type a few words and it'll do a fuzzy search on the database. Yeah, that sounds fun. So yeah, we just need to edit projects. We can create projects. We can edit. We are going to be able to edit projects, delete projects, and then search for tasks globally in the dashboard. That's going to be fun, and I think that'll be the last thing that we do, the search. And with that, we're going to wrap everything. We'll see if we can do both of. I don't think we will have time to do both in one session, but at least editing the projects next week. All right, so that's all for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's been an amazing trip so far. Just to let you know, we are how many? We're so close to the 5,000 mark. Let me see. And I lost chat. Yeah, we're 50 people away from 5,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so now so we can cross that mark, and maybe next week we are going to, let's do this. I'm gonna keep an eye on this, and as soon as that is reaching, maybe when we are like 2 or 3 away, I'm just gonna do a surprise stream just to celebrate. We'll see if that works. That's just an idea that I have, that we can see that number go up to 5,000 together. We'll see if it works. I don't know. Maybe I'll be 5,100 tomorrow. There goes the plan. But yeah, thank you so much. And if you found any of this helpful, remember, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.